am Coach, and I'm with
KC
and
the Gunslinger,
and we are
Fatihletic, the
podcast.
What's up, everybody?
I'm telling you, that music will make me want to run through a wall, man. Let's go.
I'm digging it.
Let's go. It's almost like we're at football season. It's week 0. Welcome to week 0.
And just for those people out there listening on Twitch who monitor and Facebook and all that, I can show you on my phone where it says no copyright.
Royalty free.
It is royalty free, no copyright.
Dan's trying to stick it to the man right now.
So
Hey,
if you cut me off,
and Dan is winning.
I'm coming for you. Last time I did it on Facebook, I got taken off. So
Oh, man.
Come on, people.
Stick it to the man.
anyway, that's good. That is good stuff, huh?
I'm embroiled
I
in a
dig
crazy
that. You
game
listen.
right now.
Hey, welcome Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet
Welcome.
that. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Show.
Yes.
What's up,
2 weeks in a row. He
about
says,
that?
"What's up, fellas? Glad you're here."
Yep. We
What?
are.
What is up, Thorm Holland?
Yeah. It's always we welcome the content from our audience. We're gonna have a special guest a little bit later tonight. The strength coach, Mustang High School, Jason Doran will be here, and he will join us probably in the latter half of the hour. He's going to text me when he's available. He's actually in a meeting,
Of course.
and he will join us
He
momentarily.
needs to be in that meeting.
And we'll get to talk to him. He's a great man of God, great faith, and one of the key elements in the success of the Mustang athletic program. So we'll get a chance to visit with him for a little bit.
Just one
Solid
thing.
football program.
Bronco country. Let's
Let's
ride.
get carried away. You know, I support you, Cotton Millers.
Yeah, baby.
Bronco country.
We got a few
Let's
few
ride.
guys there on the football team that I support, but
That's not what we're doing here, Dan.
Broncos country.
If you have not seen that,
That's right.
you're missing out.
We will send it to you. on
We'll
the group
send it
text.
to you on the group
It
text.
is
But Russell
fantastic.
Wilson is maybe the most.
that Bronco
Yeah,
country.
Bronco country.
All right, whatever.
Let's
He
ride.
is the most.
He's
what
probably
he-
the most cheesy person on the history
but
of the
like
planet.
he means it. Like I think it's
He's
legitimate.
pretty cheesy.
I
from-
think he's.
The
he's,
dude showed up in his own jersey to the first
no,
day.
he's
of,
a straight up weirdo.
to
Just straight
the
up,
first day of training camp. He showed up in his own jersey.
straight up weirdo.
From
I'd
the
show up
parking
in my
lot.
jersey. I would. Whose old jersey you gonna show up in?
No. From the parking lot. Dudes are rolling in dressed like Nick Cage. Dudes are rolling like the outfit's this big thing. Russell Wilson, his own jersey.
I'd be doing the
Bronco
same.
He's
thing.
his own biggest fan.
Might as well.
Man, I don't.
Why not?
Anyway, so I went to a Chiefs game with Thorm Holland up there.
Yeah.
By the way, this weekend.
Okay.
Good times.
Yeah.
Your boys look solid, Casey.
It's preseason.
Yes, they.
Just
no.
mine
No.
did too.
Oh,
I
hey,
did too.
hey,
It's
hey,
preseason.
hey,
It's
It was.
preseason.
hey.
It was Patrick
I
Mahomes
underst-
and Travis Kelce.
I understand that it's preseason, but the ones were facing the ones in that game, and Patrick Mahomes is going to have to play smarter football this year and not bail out on Tyreek Hill this year.
Best.
And he looked awesome. So there you go. That's it.
I will
Someone-
say,
that's it.
Dave, how do you think good old
That's it.
15 looked?
He looked great.
He
was
looked
fantastic.
amazing.
He was
We had
fantastic.
so we literally our seats $20, right? Which I think I still owe Dave $20. Sorry,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Good luck.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not getting that.
Wow.
Our seats were literally like 3 rows from the top, like.
Oh,
looking
you
over
were
the
way
edge.
up there,
Those
yeah.
are true $20 seats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got
Worth it.
Exactly what we paid for. Great view, though. I mean, it actually was
Arrowhead's
good.
great, man.
But first half ends and 90% of the stadium bails because Patrick's
He's
out
out.
and everything.
yeah, right.
Hey, man. No. We are downstairs now, front row.
That's
Like,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We got to see some serious insurance
With all the
salesmen.
friends and family. Yep.
Yeah. We got to
Awesome.
see future insurance salesmen throwing the football around. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So,
I'm so glad you got to experience Arrowhead, though.
just a update on last week's special guest. We had Jody Duncan of Raw Iron Powerlifting League put on that fundraiser for suicide prevention called Lifting the Stigma. They raised almost $14,000 for
That is
suicide prevention in North
incredible.
Texas.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
The numbers she was talking about before were not that high.
No, I think they raised like $6,000
Yeah.
last year. or
Yeah,
something.
They
They
over
doubled it.
doubled
Yeah.
like
They did really, really
I
well.
mean, that was a big when that
And
text came through. What?
They're actually having a couple of more. I tentatively committed for next year because I just want to be a part of something like that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to actually have one in November at the called lifting for canines or something like that. Kilos for canines. Because
I like it.
kilograms are
Yeah,
the
yeah.
weights that we use. Kilos for canines.
And if you
November
can't-
19th.
if you can't support those two things, what's wrong with
No
you?
kidding. I mean, those
With
are
dogs
And
and
suicide prevention.
and suicide prevention.
Yeah, that's pretty good
Man.
stuff. So I want to be a part of that. I want to support it as any way I can, and I may even take a couple of lifters down to the one in August next year.
I'll do it.
I tell you what, the
I volunteer.
canine stuff. Now, I don't know any details about what canine specifically program she's going to be supporting, but I will say, reference my story that I gave at the end of last week's podcast. One of the programs that I have experienced in each of the places I've gone has included bringing dogs in. Very therapeutic for especially folks that are struggling with, the big time stuff like
you
the
have
suicide
the coolest
prevention.
service dog ever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the
Straight
coolest
Really?
dog ever.
Yeah.
Not to
Well,
Let's just
now
go
wait
ahead and
a minute
correct you
now.
on that
Let's
one.
not- we got one right
No.
over here is our team mascot.
yeah,
So
she's number 2 behind Millie and Bailey.
She tried
One
to
and
fight
1A.
me though today, so I'm
Oh,
good
she,
now.
She
Shook
didn't
him.
try. She won.
Oh, I almost died.
that's because you weren't letting her have the
I
kisses.
no, listen. Yeah, you don't take your. I took.
Don't
yeah.
take your eye off the ball with
Mhm.
Gracie
Yep.
Bell.
Yep.
There she is.
Literally there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Man, it was a good kick.
Really kidding.
It took him out of the running for a while.
If you could get her right on your other side of there and in between
We-
you two,
yeah.
I
I'll
think
try.
Gracie
I don't
will
think
her.
she. Gracie, come here.
Can you get on the other
Yeah,
side?
I don't know. She'll do it. Come here.
Go back. There you go.
Come here, Gracie.
And get up there.
Yeah,
Somebody
can
see,
you? There you
she
go.
is.
There you go. There's
You made
Gracie.
it. You
And
made
she's
it.
gonna take out some equipment
Oh,
along the
no.
way.
Oh, no.
No. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Podcast
there's our
almost
team
ended.
mascot.
Yep.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that's
Oh,
Gracie
there it is.
Bell.
There's
There
the
she
tongue. There it is.
She is the kissing bandit.
Yeah,
She will
she-
figure out a way to get you
Yeah.
kisses.
And I got
Yep.
hair
We
everywhere.
got a live one.
All right. Sit.
Look at her go.
Sit. Roll over. Sit.
So anyway, boys, did you hear what we just talked about? I mean, before the lifting the stigma, etc. We talked about football.
It's
Football.
like I
mean,
said. I told you. It's.
Football.
I told you.
Play.
It's week 0, guys. Nebraska plays Northwestern this weekend.
What?
Wait,
in
well,
yes, in Dublin, Ireland.
Wait,
we got
is it
real
an
football.
actual football game?
Yeah.
No, one that counts.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
preseason.
it's going to go on their record.
Well, college
Yes.
football doesn't play preseason.
11.
I know, but do they do the friendlies
no,
or whatever?
No, it is 11:30 a.m. Dublin, Ireland. We got real football with Nebraska Northwestern, a Big 10 football game,
And
man.
when is this happening? When?
What?
Saturday.
Saturday.
What time?
11:30. I just said
11:30 Scotland. That doesn't tell me what time it is
No, it's
here.
here.
Here's 11.
Oh, it's
It's
11
here.
Boy,
Probably
they're
by
playing
3
late
a.m.
there.
over there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like 8 hours.
Yeah,
over there.
it's
6, 8 hours.
really
Tape delay.
happening.
In fact,
Tape delay.
yeah, you ain't gonna get.
It's not tape.
That's
That's
what
what I'm
it's gotta
saying.
be.
You also got some Utah State game in there as well. Like if you want to watch them.
Wait a second, this is
Aggies?
real
I'm
football?
not kidding you.
What
You
are
didn't
they?
believe me.
Aggies? Utah State?
Saturday, the August 27th at 11:30 a.m. I wouldn't mess with you. Nebraska's
You know,
playing.
and maybe it's just the stuff I
Nebraska
look.
playing.
Maybe it's just the stuff that I look at and whatnot. But I haven't seen anything about college football.
Yeah, you're not
And the
Yeah, you're not looking in the right
They don't,
places.
they don't talk about it on the Pat McAfee show, Josh.
That's
Well, it is an NFL show, and we are primarily an NFL show. So.
Oh, I don't know. Not so fast, my friend.
No, okay.
We do
No,
talk
'cause
college
next
football.
Next Wednesday.
Let's
are
review
you,
the
Are you here
tape.
next Wednesday?
I,
gotta
I'll be
ask.
here. I'll be here.
College
I'll be
football
here.
game day preview.
Let's
preview
go.
Show. Game day.
I'll get a.
College. We're gonna call it games day. Game day.
I'll get the Lou Holtz impression
No.
warmed up.
Get
I'll
Lou.
get it
Let's
warmed
warm
up.
up to Lou just a little bit here. Let me hear something.
Hey, that turned into Dusty Rose. Now, let me tell you what about Notre
dear
Dame Fighting Irish. We have a big football game this weekend with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Not as good as my Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but hey, it's still football nonetheless, and it's going to be a great one. So that's the best.
We got to get the saliva in there.
That's-
When I can
yes.
hear the saliva,
Yes.
that's the best part.
That's the best one that I can do.
You know
right
what?
now.
You think what's better than that? You know what's
You're
better than what you
done.
just did?
What?
Hearing it live.
It's good live.
It's good stuff.
It's good live. It's good.
I heard it live
Hey,
and several times. You know
it
that,
is
right?
a good. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was a trainer at Arkansas.
that's
when I was
right.
a football
Yes,
coach.
yes.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know that?
I forgot about
And
that.
Eddie Sutton was the basketball coach.
We have too many ties to Arkansas.
I got a few.
Yeah, he went there.
I went to school there.
Well, I'm just saying us as a whole. We got
Oh, yeah, we
Mills,
all
got,
have Arkansas
You know,
ties. Yeah, there's a few.
I just don't. I mean, I understand something. I'm getting feedback.
Yeah. Little Pig Suey.
I'm actually surprised you're not a bigger Arkansas fan than you are.
I was. I just kind of grew out of it. You know, so many years. It's been 40 years since I was there.
Yeah,
Wow.
but you were there.
Lived a whole
Hey.
lifetime.
Speaking of alma maters,
Yeah.
I learned today, I was today years old when I learned that Justin Herbert was actually on his way to Montana State University.
Go, Grizz.
No.
Oh,
Go
damn it.
Cats.
Go Cats.
My alma mater.
Yeah.
He was on his way there, and then the stupid Oregon school had to go and offer him a scholarship.
Imagine that.
You know,
He's fine.
Listen to me say I'm going to
Whatever.
wear Nikes
But-
versus Reebok.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm going to wear Nikes.
He's okay at
yeah,
football.
no. It just
Puma.
he gained all sorts of cool points because his brother actually went to Montana State and played
Yeah.
there, and so that's why he was.
Are they
gonna
the
go.
Bobcats?
Yeah,
Is
the
that what they are?
Bobcats.
Okay.
We are the
We.
Bobcats.
Oh, here goes the we.
Yeah. So anyway, but Justin Herbert, yeah, just found that out today. Pretty cool.
So I don't have the college connections that Kyle has, but I have a couple. Oklahoma State, wife, my sister, UCO, alma mater, Arkansas, former attendee, you know, Texas, where I'm from. So I got a few schools. I don't cheer for Texas anymore.
Yeah, please don't.
I lost that about.
Yeah,
Don't-
good for you.
Yeah, don't.
Good for you.
It makes my mom mad because she still pulls for the Longhorns, but
Well,
you know it's good. Prime example. You can take the girl out of Texas, but you can't take the Texas out of the girl.
wah.
Don't take the.
So tonight we are going
Yes.
to do our
Oh.
final rendition of our pre-review of the NFL. We're going to come back not next week, but the following week with our total playoff picture preview.
Yes.
That
And
was-
then next week we'll do our college game day preview. And tonight the NFL East divisions we will review, including
Dun,
the
dun,
Dallas
dun.
Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys? Nailed it. I nailed
By
it.
the way, the Cowboys are going to win the division.
And probably,
Ah,
yes. Probably.
See, I
wow!
thought-
Wow!
I never said they weren't going to win the
No,
division.
he's right.
I
He's
know,
right.
but usually.
right.
Well, okay.
I never said. I might have said they weren't going to win the division, but I said they'll probably make the
I
playoffs.
guess-
is what I said.
So yeah, if do you want to go into it right now?
I was gonna say usually the conspiracy theories. That's what I'm looking for. So I have to wait till we're
Yeah,
in
but
season to
he
get
watched
that.
a game this weekend and they were good. So now he's
Yeah, but then never he never buys
he's got
in
a
on the
Cowboys buzz right now.
good. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I love it.
We'll take it. I
I
love it.
love when he talks about the Cowboys.
So let's do the
One of
AFC
my
really
favorite
quick.
things.
And then Jason's ready to go on. So we're
Oh,
gonna
shoot.
we're gonna do the East schools, and then we're gonna go to Jason. So AFC East preview, which is basically we're lining up how we see the divisions ordering up: fourth, third, second, first, and then we'll go our playoff teams. Obviously, the first place teams are going to make the playoffs in 2 weeks from today. So AFC, I'll go first. I'm in the cellar. I think I'm gonna go with. Man, this is a tough one.
You say AFC East?
AFC East first.
That is for the seller. That's not a hard pick.
I don't know if it really is. You're talking about the Jets?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was going to study this a little bit. Okay, here's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go the Patriots are going to finish last.
Whoa.
Jets,
Really?
Whoa.
Dolphins.
Well, that's big. I like that. That's a hot take.
Bills,
Pats, Jets, Dolphins, Bills.
fourth through third.
Wow.
Fourth,
That's
four-
a-
So
fourth through
you're
first.
so you're
first,
high on the Jets then, huh?
I think the Jets had the best offseason, draft-wise and movement, I believe. So let me rephrase that because it didn't sound right. Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, in that order.
Wow. I'm just the Patriots one. That is a gutsy call, Mav.
I
that is a gutsy call. I like
tend,
it though.
I
like
tend
it.
to not disagree with you that far. Like I think,
I don't think, I just do.
yeah, I still.
There is no
here's
try.
here's my problem, right? When you look at the Dolphins, I think that their defense is good and they have a pretty solid offense with adding Tyreek. They still have Jalen Waddle, all that, right? The Bills are the probably the best team in the AFC, still in my opinion. So I'm going Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, just the way that it finished last year. I think Mac Wilson is still pretty good, and as long as that team's built or coached by Bill Belichick, they will be good. So that's just my opinion as far as that goes.
I think he's running out of gas.
You think Bill's running out of
I
gas?
think he is.
He's at the end of his rope.
I think he's running
Well,
out of gas.
I would have said that last year, but then he went 9-7 in a playoff appearance. So I understand, but I won't bet against him. And I don't know. I still think the jury's still out on Zach Wilson. So, oh my gosh, I don't know. We'll yeah. I think I'm going. I just don't think that Zach Wilson is that dude as far as on the football field. So anyway, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Okay, but you still had the Pats at 3 though.
No.
Is that what?
Yeah,
okay.
because I think the Bills and the Dolphins are going to be good, and I think the Dolphins, they could be one of those teams that really sneaks up and maybe wins a playoff game too.
I think it's going to come down to those close games.
Yeah,
and I think they might come out on top on a few.
And I could be I'm a part of Tua, so I could really be wrong about Tua. I think that he's a good quarterback, but I don't know how he's going to pair with Tyreek, so that'll be interesting because Tyreek is such a deep wide receiver, and Tua is really, really good throwing in, mid-range. He's a good mid-range quarterback, but throw it deep, he kind of stinks. But Tyreek can do so much work himself.
That's the thing. You get it to him, and then watch him go.
Sure.
Let the magic happen. For me, Buffalo, obviously, but 2 years ago there was a guy that was going to be in the Super Bowl that I said I just can't bet against, and that was Tom Brady. And the other half of the Tom Brady equation seemed to be, at least for 20 years, Bill Belichick. So
sure,
I'm not going to I put him at second. I think New England still comes in second. They might even challenge for first. After that, Dolphins, and then, of course, the Jets will be last.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair synopsis. I'll be interested to see how that goes, though, for sure.
Yeah, that division.
The Jets actually have some guys like that I want on a fantasy football team this year, which I think is good enough in itself. But I still think that when you compare them to the rest of the division, they're not going to win games over those teams. There's not very many of them, so I still don't see them winning.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have dudes, but
I think this division
next year is the Jets' year, not this year.
Yeah, maybe.
No, well, they're going to have a good season though this year.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It remains to be seen. I'd love to see. We could make a sandwich bet out of it.
I think
that.
out of these teams,
I'm all in for an icy bet. Yeah,
or a swig.
Swig, yeah. Maybe.
Hey,
we'll see.
Okay, NFC East. Gunslinger, you go first on this one.
Okay, well, this one for me I thought was easy. It's Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Giants, and there you go. Like that.
I also have the same order exactly. However, I think the Eagles are actually going to be better than people. Well, not they're kind of a hot team right now, and I kind of agree with them. I think Jalen Hurts is an incredible fantasy quarterback, so my eyes will be on him. But they have weapons now in Devonta Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got A.J. Brown. They have a dual threat running back. Like, I really think they'll be interesting. Yes, the punt god.
Oh,
he mentions the punt god from the Bills. That's Thorpe.
That would be huge. You win the field position battle.
Yeah, 100%. I would have picked him in the 5th round.
Field position's old school football.
Yes.
But it never dies.
But it's so important, especially in today's NFL where it seems like you can march down the field.
Football of any kind.
Yeah,
it's never changed.
Yeah.
The field position is key.
Hey,
Kicking game.
Right now, I'm hoping for a 7th grade punter myself.
Good luck with that one.
It's a big deal.
It is.
But I think that Eagles team is going to be sneaky good.
They'll be right there. It's going to come down to them in the.
I do. I think it's going to be a 2-horse race in that division for sure. But I think the Cowboys are going to win. But I'm going to let Dan talk about the Cowboys.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit undramatic on this segment.
Yeah.
Next in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we
because
kind of need to get to our guests.
Yeah.
But I will give you the lineup. I see Cowboys winning the division by a cat here. And then Eagles second, Commanders third, Giants fourth. There are a lot. There's gonna be. I may change that by next week. I probably was leaning towards more the Eagles until I saw last Saturday night, and I saw. I'm encouraged. Backup quarterback situation concerns me. I do like Cooper Rush, but Will Grier, man, he can throw the football. And I don't know if you remember him or not. He was the stud at West Virginia a couple of years ago. He was in the finalists for the Heisman Trophy. Will Grier.
And where is he listed on depth chart? 3 now?
He is probably 3, but I think he might move into the number 2.
Wow.
Because he's got a better arm than Cooper Rush.
Dude.
The only thing that will give Cooper advantage is he knows the system better.
Do you still have Danucci?
They'd still have him. Yeah,
Well,
he's still
not
on
for
the
long.
team. But I don't think that he's even close,
He's-
truthfully. It's either
yeah,
going to be
he's-
Cooper or it's going to be Will Grier. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in 2 weeks. Let me see if you guys tell you what, KC, why don't you give people a little bit of information on us real quick while I'm dialing him in. We're kind of doing a little bit early, but let me get him in here.
Yeah, so we are live on Twitch every single Wednesday night, most Wednesday nights, especially as we approach the apex of football season here. You can join us every week, Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. On Twitch, we'll also have a Facebook link as well that you can join us there. To join us on Twitch, please join the conversation as much as you can. We'd love to have you. So, yes,
Good
we are about to
question,
have a very special guest on here, which I'll have Dan introduce in a second.
All right. Hopefully I've got him live on here. So, strength coach, Mustang High School, Mr. Jason Doran. Jason, welcome to the show. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, we've got KC here. He is actually a assistant football coach. I'll let him introduce himself to you.
Yeah, I'm Kyle Cook. I'm a Mustang Central running backs coach, amongst a lot of other sports. So
There you go. Go Broncos.
yes, absolutely.
And then?
And they refer to me as the gunslinger. I have no idea why. But I am a huge fan of Mustang football. And, in fact, I've got my youngest son just started high school at Mustang this year, so 9th grade.
Very good. That's awesome.
Yes, sir. So, sir, are you the strength coach for all of athletics or for football specifically? Is it?
Yes, no, sir. I'm Josh Brewer is our head strength coach for Mustang Athletics. I am the strength coach for our football team only.
Outstanding.
Gotcha.
I love it. You're the guy. You're the guy I wanted then. I'm glad
Well,
he's on the
I
phone.
don't know. It depends who you ask.
Well, I'm excited to have you on the phone. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, Jason, tell us a little bit about what your responsibilities are at there at Mustang, and just what you walk us through what you do with the kids in the football program there.
So I obviously I help run the strength conditioning program through the off season, through the season, through the summer. Summertime we push K all the way K through 12 every day through the summer. We start at kindergarten and work our way all the way up to the high school. Start at 7 in the morning at the in the summer, and then by about noon, 12:30, we are getting our high school guys out of here. So it's a busy time in the summer, and then during the season. Now we're kicking off the season. Next week will be our first game, and so we lift throughout the season, and then start over again when the season's over with off season. So I run our strength conditioning, and I also I'm our defensive line coach here at Mustang.
Outstanding.
So.
It's awesome. Jason, I know it's been pretty cool to see just actually being on the inner workings of being able to work at Mustang, and it's been awesome. But really, it's been really cool to see what you've done the past couple of years with trying to align the programs together and get a little bit even more just say at the middle school level? Like, I know that you've talked to some of our coaches and all of that. So what's kind of your hope within the program? What would you like to see from the middle school level all the way up? It's one of the most awesome things about being a part of Mustang is that you're seeing all of this, alignment from Little League all the way up to where we are at the high school. What's your hope that you'd like to see with the strength side?
Well, that's a great question because Coach Blankenship, man, he has a great vision. He does a fantastic job of bringing coaches in here that align with his vision. And so, he's the one that really got the ball rolling. It's funny that you brought that up because I'm also on the youth Little League board here in Mustang.
Of course.
Yeah, so I've coached some Little League teams here when my son, my boys were playing. And so I've been on the youth board here for probably 6 or 7 years now. And so it's important for us for that vertical alignment from not just middle school, but, we tell our little League coaches, hey, listen, you're the most important coaches we have in our system because if you make them hate it, middle school doesn't get them. And so they don't even get an opportunity. So, that's our whole thing is, teach these kids at a young age to, be character leaders at a young age and make them enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to remember if you won 5 games, 7 games, or whatever. What they're going to remember is, did they have fun? Did they learn? And then give our middle school coaches a chance to coach them. And then our middle school coaches, carrying on what the Little League coaches started as far as knowledge, character leaders, and then having them get them to us because we don't even have a chance as high school coaches to get to coach them if they, decide they don't like it in middle school or Little League. And so that's our vertical alignment as far as, our program goes, and as far as the strength side, we want to teach them the basic lifts. And, it's not about, what our goal is it's not about you competing against everybody else. It's about you becoming the best you can be.
Right.
And so I'm not comparing you to everybody else. I'm comparing you to you.
Correct.
And
Yes,
so
yes,
we
that's
love
good.
to see that individual success with those kids, in kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. This is where you started. This is where you're at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you mentioned something in there that I really wanted to point out and kind of say I think that Mustang has just done such a great job of finding and putting on the importance of mentorship and leading
There it is.
Others well. Like I would say, it's really cool to see how much the high school coaches, middle school coaches, they care about that relationship with the students so you can get the best out of them.
100%.
Yeah.
And like, I want to make it clear. We have core values in our program.
Yeah.
And it's something that Coach Blank brought in, and we stick to those. You have purposes and you have goals.
Yeah.
And our goal, obviously is to win a state championship, to beat this team or beat that team or play on ESPN. But our purpose, what is our purpose? Why are we here? Why are we doing what we do? And if we can reach our purposes, we'll reach our goals, And so we as a coaching staff sit down every year and talk about what is our purpose, and it's our purpose is to create character leaders.
Yeah.
And what does that mean to us? Kids that are disciplined in the details, kids that understand unwavering courage, kids that have a great attitude, great effort, kids that love others as much as they love themselves. That's what builds character leaders. And so we're trying to make great husbands, great fathers, great employees when they leave here. No one's going to remember that they rushed for, 2,000 yards except for that kid, so what are we trying to do as coaches? And so that's where we're at. One of the best things we do is something called a purpose period every day. And we stop in the middle of practice, circle up, and talk about whatever our word of the week is. And it's not even about football. We're pouring into them about life.
Yeah, and I've actually had the opportunity where I do that once or twice a week for our boys. It's one of my favorite things of being a former youth pastor, where I may not be speaking directly about the Lord or whatever, but at least I'm trying to do the best I can to lead in that way, in that direction of just good character. It's something that's so important to me as well.
100%.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but so we have a lot of kids that don't have that example of what it means to be a man, or what it means to be what the characteristics of what a real man looks like. It's not the fight or flight. This is what a real man looks like. This is what a husband is supposed to look like. And I'm not saying we're perfect. We make mistakes, but one of the things in our program is it's okay to make a mistake. It's what you do after.
Guys, just in case you're joining us and you're late into our podcast tonight, we have the football strength coach at Mustang High School, Jason Doran, is here with us, and he's talking about his program and his purposes. And one of the questions I have for you is that how I know you're a man of faith, and you and I have had discussions about the challenges we have with kids today and the generation, and you're that's a whole nother discussion on another show. But tell us how your faith has helped you in leading these young men. I know you kind of led into that with your purpose-driven agenda, but tell me how that has worked for you and how it progresses your program.
Yeah, for me personally, it's my own personal story. Why am I doing what I'm doing now? And it's because of the coaches that I've had in my life, the examples that I had, coming from a single parent family, my mom raised me, in a single parent home. And so I know I can relate to some of these young men on what they're going through. And so, our faith is big to us. Our faith is big to our head coach and to our coordinators, and, our coaches here. It's something that we're not afraid to talk about. And I say it all the time, man. God gave me this platform, gave us this platform, and we're going to use it. And, until he has us use it somewhere else. And, so we're not afraid to share our faith. We can't be afraid of that. We're not afraid to say, hey man, we're going to pray for you. I'll pray with you.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, I think too many people are afraid of that because of what may happen. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I tell people all the time, man, God gave me this job, and if I'm not supposed to do it, then he'll give me another one.
He will.
Yeah. Gosh, with the mentorship and all that, and you've already talked about it, but I want to highlight it again. It all comes down to fundamentals, right? Like, okay, you're building, you say you're creating these football players, and they're going on. Some may even go on to play at the highest level in the NFL, have these great careers that may be remembered, But when you dig down, it sounds like you guys are so grounded in the fact that when you get to the fundamentals, it's not about the football player so much as the human being behind it. Because at the end of the day, the football player, that time will end, and they're going to have a life. And, oh, by the way, while they're a football player, they're also going to have a life. And so it really encourages me to hear that. My gosh, it sounds like you guys are starting, you said, from the kindergarten level and working all the way up. And one of the fundamentals of sport is the weight training program specifically, which you're in charge of for the football program. Can you talk about kind of the way that you've been able to maybe specifically mentor through weightlifting with some of your guys? I know that's more of a one-on-one experience sometimes.
Yeah, and I just want to we're not. Our goal is not to create football players. Our goal is to create character leaders. And so that's really important, because we tell our kids all the time, like, other people are going to judge us by the scoreboard, but we are not going to judge ourselves by the scoreboard. We're going to judge ourselves by what we've done as character leaders. What kind of men did we raise? What kind of husbands have we raised? What kind of employees do we have? And so I get what everybody else, wants to judge us by. Are we, what's our record? Did we win the state championship? Did we beat this team or that team? But at the end of the day, and that's important, and it's important to our kids, and it's important to us, but that's not the most important thing. And so to answer your question, you know, the beauty about the weight room is seeing kids, seeing young men come in that aren't confident, that maybe lack confidence in themselves because of maybe their home situation, or maybe because how someone treated them, or what. But to see, we celebrate success in the weight room all the time. It doesn't matter if you squatted, 185, or if you're squatting 405. We celebrate every single kid the same way, because they are becoming the best they can be. And it's teaching our kids to love one another. It's not just about them. And so that's, like I said, it's love others as much as you love yourself. We don't care about the weight. You just became better. You're leaving better than when you came in, and we want to celebrate that. And our guys have done a great job of loving each other, supporting each other, holding each other accountable. And that's all of, what's been created here, through our standard, through our expectations. And so we say it all the time, man. It doesn't matter who it is or what it is, but we're going to celebrate each other. And so guys, man, they get excited. They're excited that they felt success, and that other people are cheering them on no matter what it is.
Right.
And it's just really cool to see that, to work in the classroom. I'm a U.S. history teacher. One of my things that I try to teach as one of the coaches at that level is just, hey, what happens beyond the football field is so much more important at some level. And being leaders on the football field, they need to also translate in the real world. And so you see a lot of these character leaders that are pushing their teammates along, where it's like, hey, like, let's get it together in the classroom, where they're trying to help each other in the hallway, or help each other with their studies, and be examples in the classroom. And I think that's, if we can do that, that translates to the real world too. So you're seeing this character development happen at such a young level that, man, it's so cool to see in action, for sure.
Oh, there's no doubt. And the thing about it is, it's fun to watch guys celebrate other guys that are not necessarily making the touchdowns on Friday night, or making the big tackle, or making the big block. We're still celebrating their success, because they're our family. They're a part of us, and it's important, and that's important to us. And so that's the really cool thing that you see in the weight room, just guys bonding together, gaining, confidence in themselves, but also learning how to coach, be coached by their teammates, be held accountable by their teammates, hold their teammates accountable, and we're all on the same page, trying to live up to the same standard.
Coach, tell me, not to take this into a negative term, but there's just a lot of challenges with this generation, and I deal with it. You're full aware, and just our viewers know I have a mentoring program for kids as well. And one of the things that motto we created several years ago is building today's youth and tomorrow's leaders. And we try to establish three basic foundations, which is accountability, work ethic, and honesty. And we just branch from there. It's simplistic terms, but it builds that character. But tell me, in your opinion, what the biggest challenge you have with this generation?
Not to be self-centered, because everybody, they watch, and it's not a knock on any certain person or team, but it's immediate gratification society right now. Right. It's what can I get out of it? What's in it for me? I'm a D1 guy. I'm just trying to get a scholarship, and it's trying to pull our kids that come from different socioeconomics, different backgrounds, different whatever it may be, and pulling them into the right direction, the same direction. And so you get these guys who are we got guys that have been offered D1 scholarships.
Mhm.
We've got guys that haven't been that haven't been offered anything, but they all need to know that they all have a self-worth, and that they all are important to our program, no matter what their role is. And we try to express that to them. Find your role. What is your role, and be great at it,
Yeah.
and understand your role. And so, because people go out there and they go out into society, and it's like, well, you should be starting, or so and so shouldn't even be playing. And so you got all this outside noise. And then so when we get them back together, it's like, listen, you can't listen to the outside noise. This is about us. It's about our family. It's about our program. They don't know what goes on here. It's not about, one guy getting this offer from, the top 5 programs in the country in college, or this guy or that guy. It's about all of us, and we need all of us. And so to get them all moving in the same direction with the same mindset and the same goals, it's challenging sometimes, because we all have different stories. All the kids, all of our coaches have different stories. They come from different situations. And so that's what's great about our program, because there's kids that I may not connect with as well, that maybe our DB's coach, Coach Gaines, who's our DB coach, that will connect with, or vice versa. Maybe our offensive line coach, our offense coordinator, like Coach McDaniel, he may connect with kids better than I do. But that's that's what Coach Blank has done a great job of, getting coaches that come from different backgrounds, that have different stories, that can connect with our kids.
Yeah, one of the things that I learned early on in this mentoring program and I had a pastor that kind of helped mentor me through this process. He says, don't forget about the adults that are in your program that will help teach these men or women that we have, because we have girls as well, and girl mentors, that what they can develop, what they develop themselves into in the process of teaching. And coaching's the same way. Bring all these different backgrounds and stories and journeys. And I have a saying I like to use. In anything you're involved in involves numbers. If you're a coach, it's wins. If you're a businessman, it's dollars. I mean, numbers is there. You have to produce dollars in order to survive. But whatever we do, we count the numbers. But the reason we count the numbers is because every number has a name, and every name has a journey.
That's 100%. And man, that you couldn't have said it any better. What we want our kids to know is, like, listen, we're your coaches, but we're also human, and we make mistakes. And so we have to put ourselves out there of, listen, we made a mistake. Sometimes we have to apologize to our kids for making a mistake, but they have to understand how that works too. It's like, listen, this is what a real man does. He admits his mistakes. We correct it, and we move on. And so we say it all the time, it's okay to make a mistake. What are we going to do after that? And, there's times that coaches make mistakes, and we, try to teach them that lesson as we're going.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, one of the things I used to say to my guys, I was a military guy, is I would say, to judge a person's character, you don't watch them when they're necessarily on top, because everybody can look good on top. But when somebody is fallen, you watch them get back up, and you can tell a lot about a person based upon how they get back up. And I think that's a tremendous point that you're making there. It's very important for our youth to see us as adults, admit when we're wrong and apologize. Yes, especially.
Great journey and stories. Yeah.
You cannot be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
If we're breeding kids that are afraid to fail, I think we have failed.
100%. And like, if we're not doing it, then how would we expect our kids to do it? I'm a little, to be honest with you, I'm a little rough around the edges. Like I'm a little hardcore, but I'll also be one of the ones that'll start tearing up, because I'm so emotional about certain things. And so, but I also wanted them to know, like, it's okay to cry too. Men cry, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And so, Jesus cried.
He did.
So if he can do it, why can't I? And some of these young men feel like, well, I'll show weakness if I show emotion and I cry. But that's not really it. That's not really, what a man is, because you cry or don't cry. Yep. And so, we want to be as real as we can with these young men, through our own walk, through our own way we're being husbands and our own ways we're being fathers. But at the end of the day, like, we can't ask them to do or not do something if we're not willing to do it.
100%. Coach, what I'm looking. I'm kind of taking away some of the thunder there with what we're talking about developing young men. But do y'all have high expectations this year in 6A football?
You know what? Here's the deal. We talk about being the best we can be.
Mm-hmm.
There's always high expectations. I mean, there's always, everybody wants to win. Everybody works hard to win. So we always put expectations on ourselves. It's competition. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't keep score, right?
That's right.
But like I said, if there's not an expectation, then what are we doing? Because
what are you there for?
We've Coach Blank. I say but Coach Blank has got us going in the right direction. Everybody's on board. We have a great administration staff, from our principals to our ADs that support us. And so, when you go play Jinx in the semifinals, there's that expectation of, well, are you going to be back? Well, we're going to try. We're going to try.
Yeah.
And so we're going to give it all we got. I can tell you that. And our kids will fight hard. We have tough kids. We have kids that work hard every day. We put them to the fire, and we'll go out there and give you our best shot. And
we
we'll
play
see how the
to
chips
win
fall.
the game.
Yes.
Little Herm
Say it
Edwards
again.
there. We play to win the game. Herm
100%.
Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not there. I mean, like, we tell our kids, man, we don't want to go compete. We want to try to go and dominate.
Absolutely.
That's right. Love it.
Well, Coach, one of the things that I've always tried to do when we have guests on is, and I forgot to do this last week, is some words of wisdom that you can leave us with that we can kind of put into our little archives and maybe use them at some point in time. That's a favorite of yours.
Words of wisdom.
Scripture, something doesn't have to be scripture, but a quote that you use. And I'll just give you an example. One of my favorites is that if you're not trying to make someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time. That's one of my favorites, but whatever. And I didn't invent that. That's just one I picked up along the way. But it can be an original, or it can be one you got from somebody else. I don't really care.
Yeah,
Putting you on the spot.
I've worked for a coach that always says, we're trying to create superheroes, and what that means is someone that makes everyone around them better.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and that's always stuck to me. I'm like, man, am I being a superhero?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not talking about a Spider-Man or a Superman or what. I'm talking about, did I make someone around me better?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my goal, is like, hey, when you leave the weight room, did you get better? And I hope that I had a small part of that, because at the end of the day, it's not me. The young men do the work. I'm just there to make sure that they're doing it correctly, because they have to bring their own attitude and their own effort. But I can take as much credit as I want for it. But at the end of the day, it's not me. It's them.
Yeah. I agree.
And so, I just hope that I've made someone else better. And we try to tell our kids, just make someone around you better.
Well, Coach, we certainly wish you all the best in this upcoming football season. When do y'all kick off?
So we scrimmage. We have one more scrimmage, and then we kick off next Friday at Southmore.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll be following you and of course, I've got a couple of kids on the Yukon football team, so I'm sure
we won't hold that against you.
Yeah, I know you won't, as I do you. And I'm sure we'll see each other up here at Yukon here in a few weeks. But
absolutely,
Coach, anything else you want to say before we part?
No. Hey, thank you guys a lot for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it, and I just it's a blessing to be on here, and just thank you so much. It's awesome to be able to sit and chat with you guys.
Absolutely, Coach, and we appreciate you and your coaching staff there at Mustang and everything you do in developing young people. And remember, just make sure you keep the faith, don't lose sight, keep your head up, and I will tell you that I'll have this show posted on YouTube probably sometime tomorrow. I'll send you the link once it's there, and you can feel free to do whatever you want to with it.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
Coach.
and thank you guys. I appreciate it, and go
Thank
Broncos.
you, Coach. Go Broncos. Yep.
Broncos strength coach Jason Doran joining us today on our show. Thanks, Coach. All right. So good show, guys. Good. Good interview.
Yeah,
Good,
great
good
interview.
guest.
Yep.
Had fun with that.
Yeah, he is.
He's a real deal.
He is making an impact too. His name gets thrown a lot around the football program, and I've heard his name a lot. I've never got the chance to actually meet him in person, and so it's really cool to hear from him tonight. And just, it is true. Like, guys, I can't tell you enough what he says about the character development within the program. It's like it is in our blood as a program. And I'll tell you, like, our guys that coach are incredible people. Another guy that I coach with is was a former youth pastor as well. Myself is like they're looking for people that can impact kids, and the football may come later. You know, if they can believe that they can do it, if they can believe in themselves, then they truly can do anything. And I'm seeing kids that are, moved up to the freshman team that really they got big over the summer, but they also had that character within them, and so now they're becoming a total new person, and it's really, really incredible to see. And he's not wrong about that purpose period. We have it 3 times a week at our program, which is really cool.
That's good stuff.
I was, I think I got a little wordy there and tied myself up, but that's what I was trying to get back to with the fundamentals is, yeah, there's football going on, but when you get to the fundamentals of it, they are building humans. Like you said, they're building character-driven husbands, etc. Brothers, sons.
And look,
that's tremendous.
That's what we try to do in our program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is build, first of all, get people to believe in themselves, then take that belief, because they can't do anything, they won't do anything if they don't believe in what they're doing, if they don't believe in themselves.
Right.
You got to get them to believe in themselves first, and then plant that into other people.
Yeah.
That experience will be a life experience that you can use down the line when you're. Yeah, and we keep all ages in our group on purpose. On purpose. I mean, I've got them all the way up to 60, almost 60 years old, and I've got them as young as 8. And that's a developmental process. I've got kids that are 13, 14 years old, 15 right now, that by the time they're seniors will be competitive enough to have the confidence and to be competitive enough at a higher level, just like young Austin is right now. I mean, he's planting his seed in these younger kids to be better than they are, and that they are now. And the way they carry themselves. It's not so much competitiveness, it's the way they carry themselves and the way they plant that belief system into other people, and other kids.
They used to say with our jobs in the military is, if you aren't setting this job up to run without you, then you're doing it wrong.
Yes,
that's a little bit of what you're kind of getting at there is, you've got this program. You're the head dude behind it, and you're giving the vision, the guidance. However, you're building people that are self-sustaining, that not just are self-sustaining. They're I don't even know the right word. They help the others around them. You're building it to work without you.
Well, and
it's fantastic.
Just in business, one of the things that I've tried to teach our leaders is, don't be afraid to teach somebody be better than you are. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean,
great words.
Don't fear it. And gosh, I'm going to lead into the devotion here, which is faith over fear is the theme today. Or what is in our devotion. So, Kyle, tell people one more time about us, and then I'll go into the devotion.
Yeah, make sure you join us every week Wednesday night at 8 o'clock on Twitch. Again, we'll try to put this on YouTube, all those places.
Last week's show as well.
Yes, as well. So you can go to YouTube and go back to some of our past episodes. We've had some pretty cool guests.
Yeah, we have.
We've had. This might be the first time we've had back-to-back call-in guests in a week. So
I think we just had a really cool guest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is we've had great guests. So, yep, take a look there on YouTube and but yeah, and every Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Every Wednesday, and just so you see our name of our show, Fatihletic. Fatihletic is a combination of faith and sports and athletics. So we'll cover anything from pro football to professional wrestling. How about that? A couple things I don't talk about, which is badminton and volleyball and
we can talk about this
soccer and all those kind of things.
I can talk about how I think. Never mind.
Yeah, let's not do that.
By the way, F1
Volleyball should
returns
be
this
awesome.
weekend. F1 returns.
All right, so the devotion today, faith over fear. People often focus too much on where they have been, where they are from, the manner in which they grew up, the poor choices they've made, the setbacks that they've experienced. But life isn't about where you've been, it's about where you're going. The person I was isn't the person I am, nor is the person that I hope to become. You see, God wants your attention to be focused on the present. He wants you to look straight ahead because what he has for you is not behind you, but in front of you. Reminding yourself of your past mistakes does nothing for today. It doesn't help you. People get so stuck looking back at storms that they've weathered that they don't notice where the ship is headed. That's a good one. Let me read that again. People get so stuck looking back at storms that they've weathered that they don't notice where the ship is headed. That's a good point. They look at their flaws and faults when they should be looking forward at the greatness that God has planned for them. They are too focused on what the enemy is up to and not focused on what God is doing in their lives right now. Looking back is the same thing as dropping anchor. It is choosing to sit still, to be stagnant, to do nothing. Don't drop anchor when God is telling you to open up the sails. Don't let yourself focus on the negative when the positive is just within reach. Your best days is not to be left in the past. Faith is a light that shines through the tunnel. It is the compass that points north when you get off course. Faith is what you have left when everything else seems so far away. It isn't always easy to have faith, but it is always necessary. Faith is what gives us Christians the strength to carry on despite our circumstances. Faith is easy to find when we have calm waters and clear skies. It's when the clouds come in that Christians begin to struggle with their faith. It is when the water begins to get choppy and the wind starts blowing that faith starts to falter. Have unwavering faith. Know that whatever is going on in your life has already been planned out, and God has you covered.
Amen.
Scripture for that is Psalms 27, starts at 28, goes all the way to 31. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distress. Be still, the storm is a whisper. The waves of the sea have hushed. They were glad when it grew calm, and he guided them their desired haven. Let them give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind.
That's
Psalms
good stuff.
107, 28 through 31. It's a good scripture, huh? It's good devotional.
Thorm, I will say that our YouTube channel is Fatihletic, the podcast.
Oh, thank
just
you.
so you know. Yeah,
Thank you.
I guess I didn't give the exact address, but man, what a great show tonight.
That was good stuff.
Good stuff.
It was.
And next week we will have our
college
college football
preview.
preview.
Yes.
And then the following week we will have our NFL preview. So we got a
Playoff
couple.
preview.
Yes, we got a couple big weeks ahead of us
We
for
do.
sure. So
We do. Big
Yep.
weeks. Probably no guests the next 2 weeks. It's possible we could have. I got an outside shot at a guest for our college show, but I don't want to cloud what we're doing, so I may do that later in the season. But,
sounds good to me.
All right. Anything else?
Go Broncos.
Who's that?
The Broncos.
Oh,
Mustang Broncos.
so he was talking about UCO.
Well, that's rolled shows.
Shows.
Roll shows.
Not shows.
Oh, roll shows. No, roll shows, right?
All right. Well, you know what? I never did switch over to the
Daily Cross.
Daily Cross show. Hey, again,
Well, there it was.
It was, and I didn't even have it on me. I had it on you guys.
There it
Go
is.
figure.
We were
Well, I
looking
was really
attentive.
behind there. There I am. Bam.
There you are. Hey, take a look at it, all of us, before we go.
There it is.
Yeah, there we are. And there
There's Dan. Look at him.
Hey, look at that.
Now just pretend that happened a while
Oh,
back.
hold on a second. Let's get this show on the road here. Okay.
Dave,
so
I'll give you a call.
Let me get the music. Hold on. Let me pull back up because that was good stuff, huh?
Yeah, that was good royalty-free music. Royalty-free music. Just wanted to put that out that this is royalty-free music.
We did. You just did.
Royalty-free?
I'm Coach. I'm with
KC.
and
The Gunslinger.
we are
Fatihletic,
the
the
podcast.
podcast.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, 8
Love ya.
p.m.
See ya.